I think it can be easy for a lot of entrepreneurs to attach themselves to the company, and that's then where it accidentally gets, bottlenecked a little bit. And with that, what are some of the spiritual practices or things you do within your business or for yourself that keep you grounded and able to have that separation and recognize like it is its own organism? I'm just curious, like what practices you bring into your life that have allowed you to grow the company like in this graceful way.
Well, so I have a lot of good things. Well, one very practical thing is actually take vacation and don't work and just see what happens. Let go of control. You don't have to check your email. You don't. I was in Peru for 2 weeks this spring. I had 3 months in Europe. I hardly worked a day. So I'm like, okay, that's useful. That really helped me disconnect from all of it and let it do its own thing. But then also like, you want to make sure that energy that you do have for your company is spent on the right things. So then I work with amazing mentors like Jennifer Longmore or like other people in the spiritual world that can really like help you get crystal clear. So I think working with a coach or a mentor is like, it's so important. So it's like, help us, as Jennifer said, like get you to the penthouse, like let go of that stuff to get you to the penthouse. And I'm like, okay, I like it better in the penthouse. What
Yeah,
do we do
totally.
in the penthouse?
We just chill.
We just chill and we invite good people to be with us up there. And so I think that has been a really interesting shift in terms of like just feeling freer around what it is and feeling more confident about what it is. And before I could be like, I have to write this email, like, I have to, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. I'm not a great email. It's not worth my time doing that, and it feels great. I'm like, I could do it, but that would be a waste of everybody's time.
Were you like that since from the beginning of starting this company? Or was that something that you had to like train yourself? Because I know I have a lot of people in my field who are starting new companies, new brands, right? And I'm watching the freak out. Like I can't take a day off. I can only take a vacation once the company hits, this much in revenue. And I'm like, I feel like that's backwards. So I'm just curious, did you go through that too? Or from the beginning, were you pretty clear on like, I'm gonna chill and take vacations?
Oh, I always going to chill and take vacations. It's my
Okay.
favorite thing. And this was part of the reason for me starting the company. I just needed more freedom. I wanted to spend more time with my kids when they're younger. I wanted to spend more time in Sweden with my family. So for me, that was just like, I always had to negotiate that with my employers before, like, oh, the thing is I'm from Sweden and I like to go home, and can I work from Sweden, and can I take a lot extra vacation, and oh, I just had a kid, in Sweden we get a year off, and here you give me, so I've always been like, I'm just not made for that corporate America lifestyle.
Yeah.
I value my time way too much. I value my freedom way too much. I actually remember my first job in Sweden. I had just graduated, and I got this job at a gaming company, and they were all cool and young and hip, and I was like 24 or whatever, 23. And then my bestie is like, hey, let's go to India and Nepal and like do this amazing hike. And I'm like, yes, of course. So I walk up to the CEO. I'm like, hey, can I get 7 weeks vacation? He's like, no. And I'm like, I started crying. I'm like, what?
Oh,
I'm gonna go to India. I'm like, I have to go. So
yeah.
and then we negotiated on like, I got like 4 weeks or something, so I could go on a little shorter trip. But that was just like, I think back of that now. That's who I am. Like, I'm supposed to have the freedom. So for me, vacation, taking time off has been like a core piece of it. Granted, in the beginning, I didn't have anybody else to do the work. So if I took vacation, it didn't happen. So there were certain things that I had to get done, but I was scheduled that ahead of time, make sure everything was set up, and then I would cut out. But I mean, for anybody who's starting out, like it is really hard. You are your company in the beginning. Like you have to kind of be to sort of nurture it through that birth, and like just like it needs your milk to survive in the early day. But it's just like, okay, now you're a toddler. Like here's a babysitter. So,
Time to let go a little bit.
time to let go. Yeah, for sure.
So vacations, love that. What are some other spiritual practices or just mindset pieces that have helped you?
I mean, I do a lot of, journey work, just like meditation journeys, a lot of stuff just to sort of help me get perspective on my life. And of course, it always includes business in a big way too. so that's like I would say like once every other month or whatever, I would take like at least 2 days where I consciously just meditate on my business, on my life. What is it that I need to be doing? What can I change? What is it that I'm not seeing? Are they blind? Like just like trying to feel in holistically about like how things are and going, and all again, like where does my energy need to be
Yeah.
spent at the moment? So that for me is great to course correct. That's I highly recommend. Just like it doesn't have to be fancy. It could just be like, stay in a cheap hotel like for a day. Like if you have a family, just like see you tomorrow. Like I need to go think. So stuff like
Yeah.
that, whatever is available.